Hey, so what I wanted to do is walk everybody through the courses so that you understand both the differences and how they work and who they're best for and who they're not good for. So to start off, pretty much both courses fit best to B2B, business to business selling, where you're talking to another employee of another company, and where it makes sense for you to invest the time in building a conversation or a deal. So start the conversation, get the meeting, solves the problem of you being able to prospect without pitching. Because today, what are our choices? We either get inbound from marketing. How's that working for you? And if you do, congratulations. If you don't, then what is your choice? You can spam people, you can send email pitches, no matter how personalized or how relevant they are, it's still spam from the other person's perspective. What the course teaches you is a smarter way of doing it. And I'll get into the exact details of it so that you don't have to cold call or spam anymore. It's a step-by-step process of how you build a relationship with a complete stranger that turns into a business conversation. So if your challenge is getting into new accounts, start the conversation, get the meeting, is the course for you. If you have a pipeline or you're getting inbound or you have enough existing accounts, but the deals are not closing, winning the complex sale is the better course for you. Now, they both work in a very similar way, meaning that you get access for 1 year, whether you pay monthly in 12 monthly payments, not a membership, not cancelable or refundable. It's a 12 monthly payment plan, not a subscription. I do that so that people can amortize the cost of the course over a year. And what's different about this is that you just don't take it, meaning you just don't consume the videos. And that's what the majority of the content is, in video format. You can watch it anywhere you have a browser. But it has the lessons, but it also has two other major components that really differentiate it and enable you to become infinitely better and learn your way instead of the way I want you to learn or the way other people learn. So you get the lessons, which you consume at your pace, and there's no time limit other than the year. You have access to office hours to attend and to review. Now, there's 3 years of office hours already in there. I record everything, I label it precisely so you can consume the content based off of the particular problem or situation that you're trying to solve at that moment. When you attend an office hours, they're on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That may expand at some other time or change. They're all in the very first chapter called Office Hours. Please read this first. And it's live, and it's all driven by what the attendees want to talk about. So I open it up. I always prepare a lesson because people are a little shy at first. But you can send questions ahead of time. You can send a video if that time doesn't work for you. You can send an example that you'd like talked over. And what we do is we start with that. I always prepare a lesson to spur conversation along if there isn't a particular topic or issue that people want to respond to that day. But it's an hour-long meeting, and it's recorded, put into the course, so you never miss anything. And there's enough of those office hours in there that you'd probably have to watch 2 or 3 hours a week to keep up. But it's supplemental lessons to the core content. It is not necessarily new. It's new in the sense of examples, of case studies, so that you can learn from how other people are being successful applying the course to their particular situation. The other part is one-on-ones. There's no limit to these. The calendar link is in the office hours chapter. And these are after you take the course and you want to talk over your particular situation. This is helpful because some people really only learn when they're talking about their particular situation. It's hard for them to apply a generic lesson until it fits exactly into their world. So you have unlimited of those. All of them have been recorded over the last 3 years, precisely labeled so you can hear other people. How did other people solve that particular problem? Now, who's it not for? Since this is a video-based, self-paced course, you have to be self-motivated. Nobody reminds you to do it. Nobody calls you up. Nobody emails you. It's up to you to go through it, commit some of your time, I'd say at least an hour a week, maybe 2, to become great at sales. And you have to think of it like a skill. You're becoming great at starting conversations with strangers. You're becoming great at getting into new accounts or winning big deals. And you've got to think of it, it's not becoming a better pitch person. It's naturally building on an organic conversation with a stranger and turning it into a business conversation. The people who apply themselves to this course, consume the content, do the exercises, apply it instead of just, I know it. Knowing it is nice. It's better than not knowing it. But until you do it, it doesn't really matter. You really have to apply it to your situation, get feedback. Nothing's ever going to work 100% of the time, but you have to apply it. But what do you get out of this? When you're done with the course, you will have an understanding of what a stranger wants when they're talking with another stranger. So the step-by-step process that's scalable, and I show you how to automate it with both technology and virtual assistants, the way I have over the last 10 years. I've taught college kids, I've taught non-English speaking people how to do this, or English as a second language. The power of this is it scales, and you become better and better at it as you practice. That's the power of having access to it for a year. Some people have renewed after a year, but it's a skill that you can develop. It's like telling a joke or building any type of communication or conversation with a stranger. And you get to reference these examples, and I've pretty much dissected every persona within every company, but office hours is really for covering different and new things. So you come out of this course being able to pretty much get into most accounts that you want, connect with people that you never were able to connect with before, and be viewed as a valuable person in their network and not as a sales rep. So if you want to build an incredible pipeline, start the conversation, get the meeting is the course for you. Winning the complex sale is the other course. Now this course, let's say you have deals, you're able to get meetings, you have an install base, but your deals are getting stuck, meaning that you're sending in a proposal, they're ghosting you, or they go to no decision, or they postpone, or they buy as little as possible, or you don't really know where it is in the account. Winning the complex sale is really, if I was the best in the world at anything, it's really this. I was able to win deals that nobody ever thought were winnable, not because of my personality and charm, but I understood how companies buy. And it's not the way you think. The typical demo, present, propose, negotiate, close, that's the simple sale. The complex sale has many different decision makers, many different decisions, and each need to see certain things and have certain artifacts to make that next move. So the people it's perfect for are the bigger the deal, the more value you'll get from it. But if you have multiple decision makers or the deals are just not happening, this is the course for you. Again, it runs exactly like the other course with office hours and one-on-ones and access for 1 year. But I basically teach you how these companies buy, how to run your first meeting, how to get the technical sale, the business sale, and close the deal in a predictable, repeatable pattern. And to be able to eliminate and lock out your competition. So the bigger the deal, the more value you'll get out of it. The more competitive your deal is, the more you'll get out of this. If you're the underdog or a startup, or you've never sold a bigger deal or a complex business-to-business sale, this is the course for you. This will basically give you visibility into exactly where a deal is and where to take it. How to have what I call direction, momentum, and control over your deal. How to have acid tests throughout the process to see where you are, to keep that deal moving and get it away from that ghosting where you have that great meeting and they won't call you back, or you do a proof of concept and they buy your competitor, or they say, oh, it's a sure thing, it's going to procurement, but it never comes out. All of those things, I spent 30 years going through that, and the last 10 teaching people how to win that. So the ROI on this course is increased win rate, increased deal size, and decreased sales time, meaning you get the deals in a predictable, repeatable pattern and not getting stuck with somebody who's telling you what you want to hear versus what's really going on, even if they know what's really going on. So the same elements, you have to be self-motivated. Again, there's nobody pulling you in. It's not a company meeting. Highly recommend you attend as many office hours as you can. The more you put into this course, the more you'll get out of it. You will understand the deals. If you actually execute, you do the course and apply it before the deal gets stuck, the ROI is pretty big. Think of, if you lose one deal, what does it cost you? What's the commission rate on a medium-sized deal? This course pays for itself pretty quickly. But you have to do it. You have to internalize it, get it out of your head and onto either paper, your computer, in some form that you can review. You will have, as the outcome of this, your exact playbook or pattern for each deal and how to prevent bad things from happening and ensure that good things do happen. So who doesn't it work for? I say lazy in that people, you can't apply the course after the deal goes wrong. The course is about prevention and understanding where you are and where to take the course. A lot of people come, it's like, we lost to the competition, now what do I do? Well, this is how you don't lose to the competition, how to keep a deal moving, how to have predictability and understanding and open up that black box of the large complex deal so that you understand where you are and what you need to do and what are the bad things that can happen and how do you prevent them. So it's not just knowledge. You got to develop a skill. You got to put a little bit of effort into it. Again, 1 to 2 hours per week, but this is a skill. It's not just knowing it. Because after it goes wrong, then you know it. It's about teaching you how to prevent it from going wrong and what does go wrong at each step. It's not my process. It's how companies buy and how you sell and getting it down and troubleshooting the parts that go wrong so many times. So if you invest your time and you develop this skill, what you'll get out of it is a prevention mindset and how to prevent a deal from going south. How to add direction, momentum, and control over your deals instead of reacting, checking in, touching base, seeing where things are. What's the next step? What would you like to do next? None of that. You're leading them through. They don't know how to buy. No one ever taught them how to make a decision. There's no decision-making school. I teach you how companies do make decisions and why they buy one product over another and how they justify it. And you can turn this into a system so that you can qualify these deals, put together a plan to close the deal, understand what your risks are before they go wrong. And you get to hear other people. Through the office hours, we've closed the largest deals at these companies, the students in the course. And you can hear the one-on-ones pretty much through every major step of the deal. You get to hear the traps that people constantly fall into. They're natural. Sometimes they're almost unavoidable. We have to consciously spend our time and effort trying to prevent ourselves from falling into these traps. And I show you what they are and how to prevent getting stuck in them. And how do you get your deals bigger? Instead of always starting small and growing, which is one strategy, but how do you get the bigger deals, the 7, 8-figure deals through, and what does everybody want to see along that process? So this is kind of like a master's degree in the complex sale. No one else teaches this. I didn't learn this from other people. You can go read all the books. I've read them. They're all reasonably good, but nobody teaches you how companies buy. It's all about value and insights. Those are elements. I'm talking about the whole game, not just pieces of it. And what people think of as a game changer here is when they win deals, when they put money in their pocket. So increase deal size, reduce no decisions. Eliminate the deals getting stuck or going to no decision. How to prevent that and give the artifacts that each person needs to see the way they need to see it before they need to see it, instead of a reactive model after they told you, oh, we're putting it on the shelf, maybe next quarter or next year. So if you're in B2B sales, I get a lot out of this course. I still love the one-on-ones, especially with this course, because when you hear other people winning a deal that they know they would have lost, that they understand where they are and where they need to go, instead of, let's see what happens, let's see what they say. That's when the light goes on and people really get a lot out of it. So if you're passionate about sales, because you have to do the work, I can't do it for you. Knowing it is helpful if you apply it before you need to know it. Afterwards, it's just historical data. It's just a war story and not a good one. You want the winning war stories, not the deals get stuck war stories. So this breaks down the deal into bite-sized chunks that you can know because you have your roadmap for each deal. So if you still have questions after all of this, people often ask, does it fit in my market? Are you B2B? Does it pay to have control over your deals? How are you getting meetings? Do you have enough conversations every week? Do you have enough pipeline? Are you working on deals that aren't closing? Remember, every day that you spend on a deal that doesn't close is wasted time, and time you can't recapture. Time that you weren't spending it on a deal that can close. So if you're in B2B, it's a match. You can try and get someone else to pay for it, but you're already paying for the course in lost deals and not knowing where you are and going through company training. But that's not helping you, is it? So if you still have questions after this, you can email me that question at briangburns@me.com. briangburns.com, and just put it into a question. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We'll see you there.